Fiona, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. Delighted to be with you.
Oh my gosh, the pleasure's all mine. So we're at the beautiful Dromoland right now. And you're from County Kerry.
I'm from Dingle in County Kerry, but living in the region here for over 25 years now.
Amazing.
So more here.
So before we started talking, you said my Kerry accent. So I as an American, I can't tell the differences so much between the accents.
Oh,
so
really?
what
I just returned from a Beyond Green summit in, it was the end of February and it was in San Francisco. And of course, every time I spoke, they were all like, oh, we love your accent. You should keep talking. I'm like, some people would say I have such a strong brogue, it's hard to understand.
Really? I think you have a great accent.
Okay, good.
Us and I, we don't know any different. But how is the accent different from parts of the country?
Yeah, it depends on, mine would be a heavier accent. Some of the areas would be more refined. It's kind of farmered or cultured or countryed, if you want to say that word.
So you grew up in a Gaelic speaking
correct, yes
town, and
yes.
I know that they're peppered around the country. I've talked to a lot of locals, and they've said like Connemara is one.
Correct,
right?
There's 6 regions in the country that would be their first language would be the Gaelic Irish language.
Yeah, and you grew up in one.
Correct.
What was
yes.
that like? What was that experience like growing up?
Well, it's second
Gaelic?
nature, so I take no notice of it. I had a grandmother who didn't learn to speak English till she was 70 years of age, so it was always Irish you had to speak. So we're reared with it, and then you're schooled with it. So it's natural. So you take no notice of it. And I suppose when you're schooled with it, you don't have a major love for it. But I suppose now that I've left school for it, I have a big graw for it, which is a love for the Irish language and I'm speaking it. And it would be something I would do with my own children at home. And it's one of the reasons why we brought it into Dromoland Castle, because the property and I suppose in relation to sustainability, history, heritage and culture are a massive part of it, and protecting that and preserving it. So we thought, to be a little bit different, doing something to teach people, a couple of fuckle, which is a few words in the Irish language when they're on their vacation here in Ireland, was something that people might enjoy. And I've had some great fun with the people I've met in teaching them some of the Gaelic words.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry I missed your class on Monday.
Yeah. Next time you're around now, if you're not in, you're in trouble.
I didn't know. I wasn't being a slacker. But I think you brought up a beautiful point, is that sustainability is inextricably linked to heritage. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's conserving
absolutely
on all levels.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and for people that don't know the geographics of it, I know a little bit of it, is that there are more Irish-speaking people on the West Coast because of how they were kind of forced on the East from England. It was illegal at one point to speak Gaelic. Is that
correct?
Fair to say?
Yeah. Like I have a grandfather who lived till he was 100 years of age, and when he was schooled by the Christian brothers, if you took out a soccer ball and you played soccer, you were in big trouble.
Wow.
So in our side of the country, it was the other way around. You had to speak. It was the Irish language, it was the Irish culture, and all things Irish.
Yeah. So it's preserved more on the West Coast.
Yes,
you would
correct.
say.
Correct.
Yeah, and you're teaching now sustainability. You're bringing, not beyond teaching, you're integrating sustainability to Dromoland, but you're also speaking and preserving this beautiful language.
Yeah.
Can you teach me a few words right now?
Well, what do you drink when you go to the bar? And we'll start with that one first, because we're in Ireland.
I don't drink alcohol, but
okay. Well, we make it up, so we'll pretend you drink a pint of Guinness.
Okay.
So if you went into the bar, you'd say beg punta Guinness a gum.
Okay, beg punta. Beg punta.
Guinness.
A gum.
Yeah, very good.
Punta.
Guinness a gum.
And
okay. My name is Misha Fiona. So I'm Fiona, or I might say Cadasanim dit. What's your name? And you might say Misha. Go on, you can say your name in English.
William.
William.
Misha William.
Yeah, it's Misha William.
Yeah, Liam, I guess, would be the Gaelic name. Right?
William. Yeah.
Liam.
Yeah.
Is that the right way to say it? I mean,
it's Misha Liam.
Yeah, Liam. Yeah. Wow, I love that.
So we'll actually give you. We have a lovely little booklet that we put together on the Irish language and some easy phrases that are easy to say. I would
love that.
Yeah, great.
It's crazy that the letters say thing. I mean, they make completely different sounds than English, right? You can see a name and it's completely different.
Yeah.
I want to learn it though. It's on my bucket list.
Oh, great.
It's on my bucket list. So, okay, let's talk about sustainability.
Okay.
What, like, how far back has sustainability been part of your life?
Well, I suppose I have worked as a hotel manager for 25 years, and I took a change of career path and health and safety, but sustainability has always been in my career path in any property I've ever worked with. And I came into the property here in Dromoland, and I kind of took over the role because I have a passion for it. I come from an area where it's really on the remote west of Ireland, and where my family would have lived off the land and fished. So I very well understand, what that takes, and preserving that as well. And I suppose I've seen coastal erosion. I've seen the effects of climate change through our own property and through our own farm in Kerry. So I suppose the passion for sustainability started there through my own parents, and seeing what you can do. And I suppose, look, it's everywhere you go, and you come here to the property here, it's so beautiful. It's hard not to fall in love with it, and I get to go for a walk every day. That it's all part of my job. So yeah, I if I have a day where I'm in the office and that gets a bit monotonous after a while. I can go out to the gardens, I can go picking herbs, and I can go bringing lettuce into the kitchen, or I could be up on the walking trails. So there's a big diversity.
What I love about what Dromoland's doing is they're integrating wellness at every level. It's the things you see, like programming and things, and teaching people forest bathing, teaching people the Gaelic language, but it's the stuff they don't see. It's these initiatives to really. So why has that been such a move? Like it has to be one of principle, right?
Yeah, it is of principle, but 3 years ago I got involved in a circular economy for regenerative tourism program through a local university that was offering a program through the European Union, and there was a number of countries in Europe that were taken on board into it. We had Croatia, Belgium, Iceland, Ireland. So there was 12 businesses from Ireland that went onto that program. So we had to submit proposals, and it was really all about regenerative tourism. And that really opened my mind to a lot of, this is what we have here. And look at what we can do with it. We don't need to look further afield.
It's right here.
It's trying to get the guests that come here to enjoy the property here, and not have to necessarily leave the resort, that we can do enough activities. And we are developing it. We're still at a very early stage on that. I always say nobody's an expert in this. We're all learning, and we all learn from each other. So that was one of the concepts that I was, I started off with, let's do the forest bathing. Look at the property. It's beautiful. The benefits that we can offer to people, by enjoying that.
Yeah. Something that I was talking to Caroline about was the fact that I love this amalgamation or alchemy between hospitality and wellness, right? And that's the sustainability part is inextricably linked to this. So you use this term regenerative tourism or regenerative, holidays, right? It may be new to people, but that's what you're integrating here. So for what constitutes that? What does that mean? That term?
Well, it's like everything, like we said, the history, culture, and heritage. Everything you see around the resort. With part of the things was teaching the guests about the history. So you see our little signs around the resort where you can go onto the QR code and you can learn about the history. And it's not just the history of the property. Learn about the different trees, the native Irish trees, the flora and fauna that's around the property. But it's huge. Like there's so much to it, and even like your Gaelic classes was one thing that came out of that as well.
Yeah. Amazing. And I know that I saw in the work that you all are doing is foraging.
Yes.
Like getting people out and teaching them about foraging and seeing the flora here.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things people may find with foraging?
Oh, when they go out into the grounds. Well, it's all a lot of, if you go into the woodland trails, it's all native Irish flora and fauna. And they're all really positive for your biodiversity. You see as well on the golf course where we have the no-mow areas. So we do that every year, and we've been doing that for a long time. So you can see they're a lot richer as well.
Yeah.
You go into the wall garden, it's a total different sense that hits you with the smell and everything that hits you when you get in there. So there's a huge experience that people can enjoy when they go out onto a resort.
And falconry, I guess, would be put into this as well. Can you talk about the falconry? And I noticed there was a guard or an area where they weren't mowing there as well to kind of encourage biodiversity.
Yes,
there.
correct. And your bees.
Yeah.
No, all that. Sorry, I interrupted
Yeah.
you there
So
when you were.
the falconry is a beautiful art that's been used for a long time, but it really does get people outside as well.
It does. And it's a really popular activity on the property. It's one of the most popular activities on the property. And Dave, who looks after the falconry, was one of the driving factors around getting our swift boxes on the top of the castle, where we see the birds coming back every year and hatching their eggs there. So he works with us as well in relation to sustainability, because he's a keen outdoors person as well, and helps with recommendations.
I met Dave, and he's raised some of those birds since they were little baby
correct.
chicks.
And really passionate about it. And then he lets them go free then as well.
Yeah, it is really cool. I mean, there's so many things to see here. It's just endless.
Good.
Endless. I mean, every time I'm here, every day, I'm like, I want to do that. Want to do that.
Yeah. We're working on a new trail now up in the woodlands as well, which will add an additional 1.7 kilometers of a walking trail into that area up in the woodland, which is lovely. Yeah,
I love it. There's just lots of acres here.
Yes, there is. There's 500 acres here. So there's a lot of ground to cover.
Hiking.
Like, I know, like when you come in, you see the golf course and you see all of that, but there's so much more beyond the golf course as well. It's not just all about golf.
Yeah, and some very old trees we were talking
Correct,
about earlier,
yeah.
Caroline. What are some of the big trees here that when you maybe on your walks that you?
Well, we've the evergreen oak down in front of the Brian Brew, which is where our weddings are, and that dates back to 1711.
Beautiful.
There's hornbeam, there's holly, there's horse chestnut, the yew trees. There's enough.
The yew trees are powerful. They're majestic.
Yes, yeah.
Really.
And I would have school tours that come into me. It's again part of our looking after your host communities and getting we have kids that would come in. I would do one school tour a month, bringing the kids in and talking to them about our sustainability and talking about the positive effects of nature for them and the health benefits for them. And you know, they're cute how much they pick up and what they can go away with, and they take all the benefits of the trees and the air pollution and how it's good for the soil. But we also teach them about waste and how we compost our food waste, and that we are using that as part of the circular economy, that food waste and that plate waste from our kitchens is going into a composter in a 4-week cycle, and that compost is then being used in our gardens and as a peat substitute on a golf course. And that is also helping in the biodiversity, because even our gardens team, like, they'll put their hands into the soil, the compost, and they'll see all the worms and they're like, oh wow. And like even the herbs that we set, they grow so quickly and they're so strong based on that also.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you mentioned circular economy. What is that exactly for people that don't know that term?
I suppose in a waste perspective and in a food waste perspective, it's that we're trying to, the food waste isn't leaving the property. Mm-hmm. It's staying here and we're reusing it. So it's going back into a process, and again, it's coming back into your kitchens. You know, circular economy can be used in a lot of different aspects, where I would have another thing is, you know, don't throw it out. Let me know what it is. I can see if I can get it repurposed. I can see, can I donate it to a charity shop? I can see, is there a local, sports group that might take something? So it's, you know, it's so vast, circular economy.
Yeah. Amazing. Can we talk about some of the initiatives that you all have going on here with? You mentioned waste specifically. Yeah. I want to maybe kind of go back to that, because you talked about some exciting things. Yeah. Like, this is a big property here. Yeah. Lots of people here come to visit. What are some of the things you're doing to start to be more sustainable when it comes to waste?
We're just trying to eliminate single-use plastics. Okay. So, and I suppose while I'm in the role 3 years, Rome wasn't built in a day. And it's all one thing at a time. And last year, one of our objectives was trying to reduce our waste, and that like the compost has been going on a while, but other things like our employees have to do a training module in relation to waste management, so that they understand the correct waste streams and where each things go. But really trying to look at what waste is coming in and that we can stop it, or reduce the amount of coming in, like looking at our suppliers and what packaging they're coming in with, and how they can take that away again. So we've reached out to suppliers in relation to that. So some of the stuff is going to take time.
Yeah. Well, because hospitality is not historically have really interested in sustainability at all,
Yeah.
right? So you're really
Yeah, and funny
redefining
enough,
the
you might
system.
say that,
Yeah.
but I've been involved in sustainability for 25 years.
Yeah.
That's more than half of my life.
Right.
So
But
some
but
properties have been
some,
engaged in it
okay.
and have wanted it. And Dromoland has been like far beyond when I came to Dromoland. Dromoland was involved in it as well, because I would have known of it from other workplaces. So it is something that's been going here for 25 years.
Got it.
We're not perfect, but we're
Yeah.
certainly trying our best, and we'll keep trying.
Yeah, amazing. How about water? Sustainability.
Yeah.
What are you doing with water?
So
here?
in relation to water, we recently did a full water irrigation system on our golf course. So we now are using the water from our lake, which comes from our rainwater, which is used at night and goes onto the golf course. We recently completed a full audit of our water on the property. So we got a couple of actions off it. Like we have been doing a lot on water. We've the aerators and the taps, and we've measured the flows, but we wanted to go that extra depth, so we got someone to come in and they did a full week's audit, testing and checking pressures and everything. We've a couple of little things to come out of that, and they're just things that will put us on an Excel rather than a medium. So if that answers,
yeah, of course.
We have the water refill stations that you do see as well.
Yeah.
I'm just trying. We use rainwater in our in the walled garden areas and where we can as well.
Amazing. What are you doing as far as energy is concerned?
Energy. So we would monitor our energy and our energy uses. We have a 170 kilowatt solar panel PV system that is producing energy for us, which is free there to us. That's currently producing. We installed that last year in December, and we're currently at 19% is what our solars are producing for us. So I mean, initially at the start I had to kind of sell it, but now everybody's seeing it. Now it's like, oh, what more can we do? Like, because they can see the benefit of it. We have a turn it off policy. Another thing that I'm working on that I've just finished today is our staff will do a further module now in relation to training in relation to energy, water and biodiversity. So that's something we'll be launching in a couple of weeks. And it's again raising awareness. I have a green team that work with me. So I would have green champions in each department in the property, so they take responsibility for their areas and managing energy in those areas. So we would know the energy consumption of all the different high usage equipment, and we kind of have policies in place for their use as well.
What are I've read of the initiatives that you are implementing to maintain, to conserve, but also to enhance biodiversity on the estate? For people that aren't aware of that, what are some of the things you all are doing?
In relation to enhancing the biodiversity, like the no mow is a massive thing, and like that's the most simplest thing anyone and any property can do, and it's free.
Yeah.
And you do, it costs nothing to do it.
But why is that so important for people that are like, I didn't even know that was a thing? What's no mowing do?
Well, the no mowing is you're cutting your grass in various areas, but you're leaving your grass grow earlier, so your bees and your insects and all those can be developing within the high grass, and it's not being cut. Like you go out and you cut the grass, and you've most likely killed some nests and got rid of some nests. So that's a huge thing. We try to use as minimum of your chemicals with pesticides and trying to manage that, especially in our golf course. We're a geo golf course as well, so just trying to watch what we're using there.
What for
geo certified?
Yeah,
sorry,
what does that mean?
So
geo certified?
it's a sustainability certification for golf courses.
Amazing.
To ensure they're at a level that they're protecting.
Amazing, because golf courses in the United States are notoriously. It's one of the questions that I ask new telehealth patients is, do you live near a golf course? Because in the United States, there's no regulations for these sort of things. Like herbicides and pesticides can be higher amounts of it. And it's not, it's not good for human health. It's not good for our soil microbiome, obviously, either. I love that you mentioned that here. Is that you could play golf if you play golf or be around a golf course here. And this is a geo-certified golf course.
And like you have a 3-day audit in relation to your geo-certification, and there's a lot of documentation and making sure your databases are in place for that. And even like one of the new initiatives, we were actually talking about it this morning, is we're moving to HVO. to move away from the fossil fuel of diesel in our golf machinery. So that's another. It's I suppose while it ties into my sustainability, it's a real key driving factor for the geo certification and coming up with new initiatives.
Yeah, and you mentioned like letting the grass grow. We call things weeds, right? But it's not. They're not weeds, right? They're just we just label things.
Yes, correct.
But they have a purpose.
Yes.
And they really can help heal the soil.
Correct.
I mean, my grass is not pretty looking. My grass has lots of what the world would call weeds.
I don't know if when you've been walking around the property, have you noticed the lichen on the trees?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that will show you the pure good quality of the air that we have on the resort. You can sense it straight away when you're...
For people that don't know, when you're here, you see lichen growing in the trees, and that is a sign that the air... it's because it's very sensitive to impurities in air.
Correct.
Yeah. And the golf course is notorious here, right? I mean, I was here in 23 and the Irish Women's Open was here.
Yes.
And wasn't something else also recently or going to be here, I think?
I'm just trying to think. We have so much going on here all the time.
No, we don't have golfers in the room with us right now.
No, we have...
I won't put you on the spot. Yeah. Apparently, I hear everything from the drivers and they always tell me.
Okay, the drivers know more than I, the soldiers on the street.
Anyway, so biodiversity, going back to that. So what, from a timeline standpoint, what goals do you have personally start to growing these things and making sustainability a bigger part? Is it like a 3-year, 5-year goal? What's the...
like you're working on 5 and 10 year, depending on what you're looking at. We've a farmland area up the back of the resort that we're looking at trying to incorporate into the business and how we can work that more. And again, like from a biodiversity point of view, the added advantage of having farmland. So we currently have a plan of, we are on a plan of planting 1 hectare of trees per annum. And that's something we've been doing for the last 3 years, and that's nearly up to nearly 1,000 trees, that we're planting up there at the back of the resort. So, and that's something we'll continue, but that's something we have to develop. But again, it'll come into more activities for guests when they stay with us, which will be lovely.
So many activities here, as I said, even archery. I'm looking at the archery thing behind me. I haven't done that yet, but we may do that one. We're to do horseback riding.
Oh, lovely.
Regenerative tourism. There's obviously a lot of the things we talked about on property, but there's also lots of regenerative tourism in the area. Yeah. What are some ones that you like?
Well, look, simple regenerative tourism, supporting the local economy. 71% of our suppliers are within 100 kilometres radius. We have our eggs come from less than 10 kilometres down the road. Yes. So it's supporting the local community, and we would have
eggs,
great...
the beef,
correct,
the fish.
Yeah.
The
fish
oysters
comes from West Clare, the oysters come from Clarenbridge, so it's looking after those as well. We would also have a lot of commitment to local businesses, local schools, local a thing called UBER, which is Meals on Wheels in the local community, and then we're also working on an employee community commitment policy to try and get our employees more engaged with the community and giving back to the community in that way.
I love it. So what other even the mushrooms? I saw mushrooms were a local
yes
farm too.
They come from Cracklow as well, Con.
Yeah, and the flowers that go in salads are local.
Yes, correct. They come from Lawless Flowers, and again, any of the flowers that are on our tables as well that are disposed, they actually end up in our gardens, in our garden compost, separate from our food waste compost. So that doesn't leave the property again, and it's turned over, and we use it in our gardens.
So it truly, people pull up and it's this beautiful, majestic castle, but it is a farm to table.
Oh, absolutely.
Experience.
Traditionally, that's what it was like.
Right. That's what castles
That's
were,
what started the castle was,
true.
And it's trying to get back to that as well.
I love that.
Yeah.
And this has been a blessing. Thanks for walking
me
through the beautiful things you're doing, both seen and unseen.
Okay, you're very welcome.
For people that don't know, want to get connected to Dromoland, where do they go?
Yeah, they can get us on Facebook, on LinkedIn.
Just Google Dromoland.
Yeah, you'll get us.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming on.
No problem at all. You're very welcome.